I'm not saying Teofimo Lopez is going to beat Shakur Stevenson. I'm not saying that. All right. The reason why I'm interested on how Teofimo Lopez can beat Shakur Stevenson, because I pretty much feel we know how Shakur Stevenson beats Teofimo Lopez. Hell, Shakur said it himself to the great Roy Jones.
We all know he had problems with people that move around the ring. He wants to stand in front of them, and he could pick them apart when you stand right there in front of him. But I plan on doing, I'm not going to say the game plan, but I plan on doing a little bit of both.
Keyshawn Davis has dropped a bombshell prediction that suggests his close friend Shaw.
Teo can fight.
I tell you that. Teo can fight.
Winning back
if
then.
you said he couldn't, you'd be lying. Right. That's a real assessment, though. I think Shakur still wins, but it's going to be closer than what people think. Teo is nice. A lot, man, no doubt.
Davis described a scenario where Stevenson would start strong, potentially taking the opening rounds with his trademark technical prowess and defensive wizardry. However, the Norfolk native believes that as the bout progresses, Lopez will begin to assert his dominance and gradually impose his superior physicality on the Newark-born champion. According to Davis, this shift in momentum will fundamentally alter the complexion of the contest as it moves into the championship round. The assessment from Davis carries particular weight given his intimate knowledge of Stevenson's abilities and his own experience competing at the elite level of the sport.
How do you see Teo against Shakur playing out? Because you want me to tell you the truth, like, this fight could have been the winner's bracket fight. In other words, they're jumping to it, but at the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
The intriguing aspect of Davis's commentary lies in what he left unsaid, just as much as what he explicitly stated. By suggesting that Lopez will start to take control as the fight wears on, Davis appears to be implying that his friend might lack the physical tools necessary to maintain his early advantage against a naturally bigger and more powerful opponent. Davis concluded his analysis by acknowledging Lopez's fighting credentials with a simple but powerful statement about the Brooklyn fighter's capabilities in the ring, suggesting that Stevenson will face a genuine test unlike anything he has encountered in his professional career to date.
I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight.
Beats him.
What then? What then for you and Teo?
For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Okay, since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that shit. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what the future holds. I just know what I want to do, and I want to go to 147 and become a champion. Because I just feel like them guys just can't beat me from 140 to 147. And I just feel like, I'm a surprise the boxing world. I'm small. I just moved to 140. And I'm gonna be fighting guys naturally bigger than me, and I'm gonna be stopping them. I'm gonna be knocking them out.
I remember.
And that's gonna be very entertaining.
This mega fight between Lopez and Stevenson represents one of the most significant domestic clashes American boxing has produced in recent years. Lopez currently holds the WBO Super Lightweight Championship and will be defending that title against Stevenson, who enters as the WBC Lightweight title holder, moving up in weight class. The bout is scheduled to take place on the final day of January at Madison Square Garden in New York City, providing a marquee stage for what promises to be a fascinating tactical battle between two of the sport's most accomplished practitioners.
If we're gonna be honest, bro, when he get in them big moments, in them big fights, the best version of him show up every time.
The big fights, Lomachenko, I would agree with
But
that.
if he fighting against fighters that he already thinking like, okay, I could beat them, he probably not gonna train the same. But with me, he know. He gotta come in.
You gotta know that.
At 1,000%.
Yeah, you gotta know that.
So I'll look forward to seeing the best version of you, bro.
Stevenson brings an unblemished professional record into this contest and has already captured world titles in 3 separate weight divisions throughout his remarkable career. Starting at featherweight, he moved through super featherweight and currently reigns at lightweight, demonstrating his ability to successfully navigate the challenges presented by each new weight class. Now he faces perhaps his most daunting challenge yet as he ventures into the super lightweight ranks to confront a champion who has established himself as the division's premier talent. Should Stevenson emerge victorious, he would etch his name in the history books as the 25th fighter ever to capture world championships across 4 different weight categories.
What about, too, they just had their press conference in New York, the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson fight.
The things that Teofimo is coming out with, I don't think Shakur knows even what to say or reply to it. you know, I don't think I wouldn't even want to repeat the stuff that he's saying, but he's making some really, really fruity comments. But I suppose that's one way to get in your opponent's head. But I think that's a great fight. I think, forget all the sort of trash talk and the build-up. It's a fight between two genuine elite world-level fighters. We've seen how good Teofimo is. We know how good Shakur is and how dominant and, you know, just how in control he's been of pretty much every moment of his career so far. And I think Teofimo is good enough at boxing and moving and fighting to maybe cause him some problems. But for me, Shakur is as close to a perfect boxer as you can probably get on his day. He makes so few mistakes. He judges the range tremendously well. He's constantly looking for little ways in to score as well as staying safe so they don't have a chance to really, you know, win the rounds back. I would favor slightly Shakur.
Lopez himself is no stranger to glory at multiple weights, having previously unified the lightweight division before making the move up to super lightweight, where he has held the WBO belt for approximately 2 years. His resume includes victories over elite opposition, most notably his masterful performance against Josh Taylor to capture the title, and his stunning upset of Vasily Lomachenko when he was still operating at lightweight. These achievements have cemented his reputation as one of the division's most dangerous fighters, though his performances have occasionally been inconsistent against less heralded opposition.
Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when his back is to the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent.
The boxing world has been buzzing with opinions and predictions about this matchup from various corners of the sport. Floyd Mayweather recently shared his thoughts on the contest during an appearance on Cigar Talk, expressing his belief that Stevenson deserves to be considered the more prominent fighter in the pairing. The retired legend made it clear that he felt strongly about this position, though Stevenson himself seemed resigned to accepting his position as what many perceive to be the B-side in terms of promotional hierarchy and financial arrangements.
He was just saying he don't think that I should be the B side of this shit. Of this upcoming fight. He think I should be the A side. And he really felt strongly about it, but no, it is what it is, bro. I appreciate Floyd. That's my guy. I wouldn't even never say nothing bad about Floyd.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. offered his tactical breakdown of how the fight might unfold, suggesting that Lopez will need to adopt a high-risk approach if he hopes to hand Stevenson the first defeat of his professional career. The four-division champion emphasized that Lopez must be willing to gamble and exchange punches rather than attempting to outbox Stevenson from distance. Jones believes that Stevenson's polished boxing skills, exceptional hand speed, and defensive acumen make him extremely difficult to hit cleanly, and that Lopez will only succeed if he demonstrates a willingness to take shots in order to land his own power punches. The legendary fighter stressed that the outcome will ultimately depend on which man wants victory more desperately.
Stylistically, man, how does Shakur beat Teo and vice versa? Stylistically, how does Teo beat Shakur?
Stylistically, Teo got to go in and go for broke. He got to go gamble. He got to take some, get some, and that's his only way to win. If he stays outside of boxes, Shakur gonna pick him apart. Shakur's a polished boxer with some of the best feet in the game right now, and he's a defensive-minded fighter, which is very smart. It's hard to hit him. He makes you gamble to hit him, and he's going to be a tough one to deal with. But if Teofimo is willing to gamble to beat him, then Teofimo can definitely make it a really good fight.
Popular streamer Adin Ross got involved in the prediction game as well, placing a substantial $10,000 wager on Lopez to emerge victorious. This bet was accepted by Terrence Crawford, who confidently backed Stevenson to deliver a boxing clinic and suggested that Lopez would be thoroughly outclassed on the night. Crawford's blunt assessment included a prediction that Lopez would be comprehensively beaten, using colorful language to emphasize his conviction that Stevenson represents a stylistic nightmare for the Brooklyn fighter.
Let's bet 10K on it.
Bad.
Great, fuck.
Bad.
Will, who you think's gonna win?
Who is this?
Teo and Shakur. They're fighting next month at Barclays. I'm be there. You'll be there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I get to see your live reaction when I take your money.
Little bro walking away with that. You gonna see.
Nah, Shakur is not to be fucked with, but Teo's good.
Teo's good for what he do, but he's been washed.
Nah, come on.
He's getting washed.
Abel Sanchez provided his perspective on the matchup while addressing concerns that the fight might turn into a tedious affair. Sanchez acknowledged that some fans worry about the entertainment value given both fighters' capabilities and recent performances, but he expressed optimism that Lopez would bring the action by taking the lead role as the aggressor. The veteran coach suggested that Lopez needs to press forward and force the action. Otherwise, both fighters might adopt a wait-and-see approach that would result in a lackluster spectacle for the paying public.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you in, he wants to counterpunch. He's gonna have to be a different guy this time. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to be leading the fight, or else it's gonna be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight, but if he sits back and waits for Shakur, Shakur's going to wait for him, then it's not going to be exciting. But I think Teofimo will attack. I think Teofimo has to attack. I think Teofimo has to do what Zepeda did, except for Teofimo's a lot more talented than Zepeda was.
Interestingly, Sanchez predicted that the fight would end in a draw, an unusual forecast that suggests he envisions a closely contested battle where both men will enjoy periods of success. He also noted that Lopez might benefit from studying the approach that William Zepeda employed against Stevenson in their July encounter. The relentless Mexican pressure fighter pushed Stevenson to produce arguably the finest performance of his professional career, and Sanchez believes that similar aggression from Lopez could yield positive results.
So I think that, honestly, I see a draw. I don't know why I see a draw, but I just see them both having great rounds and giving us the kind of fight that I think the public is looking for.
Lamont Roach Jr., who recently made his debut at super lightweight in a controversial draw against Isaac Cruz, offered his prediction during an appearance on the Ring Champs podcast. The former super featherweight title holder backed Stevenson to win convincingly, suggesting that the three-weight champion's superior boxing intelligence would prove too frustrating for Lopez to overcome. Roach downplayed suggestions that Lopez possesses the same level of ring IQ and pointed to his near defeat against Sandor Martin as evidence of vulnerability against pure boxers. He also referenced the shocking upset loss to George Kambosos Jr. as proof that Lopez experiences occasional mental lapses that cost him in crucial moments.
He a little cuckoo too, like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while.
So who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think so, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win. And he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just, I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like, cause it's gonna be just a skill match. I don't think he's gonna try to rough Shakur up, and it's probably not gonna work.
Tim Bradley weighed in with his analysis on his YouTube channel, acknowledging Lopez's physical advantages in terms of athleticism and explosiveness, while ultimately siding with Stevenson to get the job done. The former two-division champion praised Stevenson's ability to follow a game plan and take away his opponent's best weapons through intelligent positioning and defensive responsibility. Bradley characterized Stevenson as the type of fighter who frustrates opponents by constantly neutralizing their offensive threats and controlling the pace of the action. He expressed interest in seeing how Lopez would handle fighting against someone capable of outthinking him in real time, ultimately concluding that Stevenson's strategic superiority would prove decisive.
Teo, more so, I would say he's fast, explosive, and got that punching power, to hurt you, he can sting you. Whereas Shakur is more so like, I would say quick thinker. Very decisive fighter, you know what I mean? With his movements, decisive with, all his moves, everything he does inside the ring, there's always like a purpose to it. He's always in the right position, to avoid a shot or to land a punch as well, and one of the things that I think is going to be a key thing in the fight, you know, if they were to fight is how laser focused Shakur is, man. Shakur is one of those guys that can stay focused all night.
Hall of Famer James Toney provided perhaps the most dramatic prediction, forecasting that Lopez would stop Stevenson late in the fight due to his significant size advantage. Speaking with Mill City Boxing, Toney acknowledged that both fighters possess extraordinary skills, but suggested that Lopez's physical superiority would eventually tell. The legendary former champion hedged his predictions somewhat by noting that if Stevenson chooses to use his movement and box from distance for the entire 12 rounds, the fight could devolve into a boring spectacle, though he clearly favors the scenario where Lopez's power brings an end to the proceedings in the later rounds.
Another great fight. I hope it lives up to expectation. And Teo's too big for him.
Teo's too big?
Yeah, too big. But hey, great fight. Both fighters have extraordinary skills, and they're ready to fight. They can fight.
Well, you think that the faster mind, the faster hands, who's gonna be able to make the faster adjustment early?
I think it's Shakur. He's a little jitterbug. He can get in, he can get out. But, with his punching power and his ability to get a soap punch, we'll see. Because he's gonna get hit.
In this fight, people say that Shakur Stevenson has a lot to lose in this fight, and
he does. He did. Right now, he's one of the best pound fighters in the world. And he's doing a lot taller. You got to be able to back it up. You got to.
The potential ramifications for Stevenson should he emerge victorious are enormous. Beyond the historical achievement of becoming a four-weight world champion, he would position himself for lucrative unification opportunities against fellow American title holders Richardson Hitchens, who holds the IBF strap, and Gary Antoine Russell, the current WBA champion. These potential matchups would allow Stevenson to cement his legacy as the undisputed king of the super lightweight division and silence critics who have questioned whether he has faced truly elite competition during his rise through the ranks.